Washington, D.C. Hier sitzen die Verantwortlichen für Subventionen und Protektionismus. Und wer hier regiert, schützt nicht nur die Stahlindustrie, sondern auch die Agrarwirtschaft.
And then the hammer really came down when President Trump rewarded agriculture by giving, tens of billions of dollars to American farmers, essentially to offset their trade losses.
Trump somehow came up with a way of distributing subsidies to farmers without going through Congress. We just get checks in the mail, so to speak.
(2011) in Illinois, auf der Farm von John und Phipps. Schon damals profitierten Amerikas Landwirte von Agrarsubventionen.
Agricultural subsidies to be morally irresponsible, and there is simply no justification for it. I just get that for having a body temperature somewhere close to 98.6. Not because I do anything, not because I'm worth a while or any deserving factors, simply because I have those acres. I get $24 for every acre. Well, once you hand that $24 out to every farmer, then the first thing he thinks of is, I know I can afford to spend $24 more to bid on this extra 200 acres and make my farm 200 acres larger, because that's what we're all doing. We're trying to grow.
John Phipps ist heute pensioniert. Er betreibt einen Videoblog für die wöchentliche Fernsehsendung US Farm Report.
Last week, I began an answer to a viewer regarding carbon dioxide emissions. I have people who just can't stand me, and actually they're my favorites. And the other half are people who just got up early in the morning, generally on the stations early in the morning, and they're looking for something to watch, and they've gotten hooked on what's happening in agriculture.
Die Farm profitiert von weit über $100.000 jährlich an Subventionen. Diese bestehen aus Kompensationen für Ernteausfälle, Steuererleichterungen oder Direktzahlungen.
In the 1980s, Dad said, there were years that the government payments, that's what the family lived on. The farm broke even at best. And that was the money that, put food on the table and got clothes on my back and got me to school and everything else. So, and even during the lean years, classic of a child, I didn't really know. I had no clue. So it wasn't true poverty.
Why we qualified for it, I'm not exactly sure, but money just poured out of the sky. And unlike European subsidies, we are drifting away from having to perform any actions, any environmentally responsible actions, or any quid pro quo.
Through the Trump years, I was a net drain on the economy because I got more back from the federal government in subsidies and payments than I paid in taxes. And markedly so. The Trump year monies were it was insane. Okay.
In fact, farmers in general tend to be Republican in the United States. So Trump, in order to not lose the political support of those farmers, transferred huge amounts of resources to farmers in the form of direct subsidies, income subsidies, to compensate for the foregone export revenue that they lost.
Former President Trump did very well. He knew who his base was. He knew who voted for him. And his thought was, as long as I can make amends for this group of people, I will get reelected.
Agrarsubventionen verzerren den Wettbewerb. Hoffnung macht, dass keine überschüssigen Nahrungsmittel mehr günstig oder gratis in Entwicklungsländer exportiert werden und dort die Märkte lokaler Bauern zerstören.
Export subsidies are virtually off the table. There are virtually no export subsidies anymore. A bit of food aid, but export subsidies have been pretty much eliminated over the last 20 years.
It's not to our advantage to have a third of the world in economic squalor, because then we have no one to sell our goods to.